Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to AM Voice. This is One Man's Opinion. I'm Pastor Bruce, and today, I want to talk about the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party. But in this respect, men, go do whatever you got to do, because I'm going to talk to the women, because this is directly related to you and nobody else. In an article, former First Lady Michelle Obama leveled harsh criticism Wednesday at women who voted for Trump, suggesting they voted against their own interests. Think about that. You voted against your own interests? Who's telling you what your interests are and what your interests aren't? I believe that the American woman today is more knowledgeable, more concerned about what's going on in our country. So when you voted for Donald Trump, you didn't vote against your interest. You voted for your interest. That's my opinion. Okay. She went on to say any woman who voted against Hillary Clinton voted against their own voice, Obama told the audience during a talk at a marketing conference in Boston, according to Boston.com. Now, first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, this is a marketing conference. This is how do you sell your products? How do you get a hold of clients so that you can continue to sell? This has nothing to do with who voted for who. But you see, this is another form of the Democrats slamming Donald Trump and those who followed. They want to shame the women who voted for Donald Trump into next election voting for a Democrat. You women are smarter than that. You really are. It goes on further to say, she went on to suggest female voices for Trump were just going with the pack. Just going with the pack. Who supports the the Democratic Party in Hillary Clinton was the National Organization of Women. So the National Organization of Women expects you to go with the pack of women and vote for the woman president and to vote for the Democrats. They don't want you to vote for the Republicans. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a war between our democracy and socialism. And they're using every gun they can. Obama went over to Paris, to the Paris Accords, while Donald Trump was listening and doing what he was supposed to do as president. Obama was in the background doing other things. He had no right to be there. He really didn't. Yet he went over there to try to undermine the president. They look in the camera and they lie to you. They say, yes, we care about this country. We want to see unity in this country. And then they turn around and create riots and protests in the streets. They called for impeachment the day after he was elected as president. Come on. Do you see the hypocrisy on the side of the Democratic Party? It goes on to say, it doesn't say much about Hillary and everybody trying to worry about what it means for Hillary. And no. What does this mean for us women? She asked, as reported by the Washington Post. You know what it means for you women? It means that you're smarter than what the National Organization of Women and the Social Democrats in Congress think you are. You know what the issues are. You know what you want to vote for. You are smarter. You know, they're using the 1950s excuses. Well, women are stupid. They're dumb. They don't know. They're just doing what their husbands tell them to do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know as well as I do that there are a lot of single-family homes, and those women out there that are working a job or two jobs trying to raise a family, they know that the Democrats have put them down, have not allowed them to get pay raises in their jobs and made it more difficult to get insurance. They know these things. They're not going along with the pack. No. Michelle Obama's going along with the pack. She's sitting there talking to a marketing conference about political issues. Is that stupid or what? That's because she has no clue about what marketing is all about. So she's going to present a political picture, not a marketing picture. It goes on to say that we look at those two candidates as women. What? And many of us said, he's better for me. We look at those two candidates as women And many of us say, he's better for me. His voice is more true to me. To me, that just says, you don't like your voice. Well, obviously, she doesn't like hers, because every time she went out there to say something just like this, we look at those two candidates as women. You can't look at a man and call him a woman. She is stupid in the things that she said. She went to introduce a candidate for Congress and said the wrong name. This is how intelligent she is. She makes mistakes up there. She really doesn't want to be in the limelight. And to me, that says you don't like your voice. Yes, you do. You do like your voice. You studied the issues. You understood what was at stake, and you voted according to your own mind and your own heart. You just like the things you're told to like. Oh, you know how insulting that is to women? And the National Organization of Women ought to slam her for saying that. That's a 50s attitude, people. This is 2017, and that's what the Democrats are stuck in the past. They really are, and this is a prime example of that. She was taking a swipe at a large swipe of the population. According to the exit polls, 41% of the women voted for Donald Trump in November. 41%. They don't know their own minds. They just like the things they're told to like. 41, almost half of the population? No. You see, the women are smarter. And Republican women are a lot smarter than what the Democrats think, the social Democrats, those who want socialism in this country. They're smarter than that, and they know it. And this is what scares the Democratic Party. So if they can't defeat Donald Trump, they're going to go after his base, his believers, the ones who trust him, the ones who voted for him, call you deplorable, call you stupid, call you ignorant, call you nothing more than a puppet to your husband. And when there's a large majority of single-family homes, that's kind of stupid, isn't it? It went on to say Obama, who campaigned for Clinton during the 2016 election, was speaking as part of an inbound sales and marketing conference. What has politics got to do with sales and marketing? Unless you're a Democrat walking into a Republican, or a Republican walking into a Democratic owned business, and you start talking politics, you're going to lose. Goes on to say, when talking directly about Trump, Obama took a different tone. Oh, of course she did. Yeah, she's attacking. Her husband is attacking. Hillary's attacking. The Senate is attacking Donald Trump from behind. The Black Lives Matter, the National Organization of Women, the American media propaganda machine is all attacking from behind. So she's going to take a different tone. We want him to be successful. If he did, tell everybody to back off. Get out there at conferences and say enough is enough. Stop the protest marches. Start going along with the package. But she's not going to do that, because if she does that, she knows she's going to turn against the socialist agenda that the social democrats want. And socialism in this country, the Democrats want to get rid of the Constitution. They want to get rid of your Bill of Rights. And they're doing whatever they can to destroy Donald Trump and the Republican Party. Because as soon as Donald Trump goes, you know they're going to start attacking everybody else. See, they can't keep a leader. They're incompetent. They don't know what they're doing. They need to get out of here. You need to elect Democrats. They're going to lie, cheat, and steal in order to win the election. Now, understand this. During Clinton and Obama runoff, Clinton was losing, or started to lose, to Obama. So therefore, she dropped out with the condition that she would get something such as the Secretary of State position. So she was losing to him. So she dropped out of the race. When she came into the primaries, or the runoffs against Bernie Sanders, she was doing good, because everybody was just going to vote for her because she was Hillary Clinton and she was a woman and everything is okay because we're going to have our first president. But then Bernie Sanders started to come up with more socialist ideas about free education and about more programs for the people. And he started to make sense, and the people started to listen to him. And what happened? The popular vote started to go towards Bernie Sanders. So what did the DNC do? Her sidekick, they cheated. They convinced a lot of the delegates, even though they were voting for Bernie, to go for Hillary. And they stole the election from Bernie Sanders. You believe that? They stole the election from him. That's the only way she could have won. She would have lost to Bernie Sanders because she lost to Obama. If she lost to Obama, she's going to lose to Bernie Sanders. Do you really think she was going to win in the general election? No, she wasn't. So now that she lost, let's take a look and let's blame everybody but me. Let's accuse the Russians of interference. Let's accuse the Russians of rigging the election. No, people. She lost because she's a flawed candidate. She is inconsiderate. She's rude. She's disrespectful. She has no new ideas. She's just changing this country to socialism. That's all. And with a Democratic Congress, they would have gotten rid of the Constitution and they would have gotten rid of the Bill of Rights. That's what they want to do. Turn this country to a socialist country. And again, I will say, look at Venezuela. Look at what's happened in Venezuela. Look at communist countries, how they're treating their people, or totalitarian governments like North Korea, how they're treating their people. We have the greatest government in the form of government on the earth, and everybody hates us because we're so successful. They always hate the one on top, people. Now it goes on to say, her former president husband, though he's been stepping up his criticism of Trump lately, including taking to Facebook to blast the decisions to roll back his DACA executive actions, so-called dreamers. Okay, now that's outrageous. All right, because if you look at the DACA, and I have a podcast on this, the DACA was nothing more than a temporary fix to give the dreamers a chance to stay in this country. And he gave it an expiration date so that Congress could come together with a bill and pass a bill to protect the dreamers. But the Democratic Congress didn't do it. When they had control, they didn't do it. Harry Reid didn't want to do it. He could care less about the dreamers. So they never passed the DACA bill and put it into law. Now that Donald Trump is up there, he said, no more. You wanted to protect these dreamers? Create a law to protect them. Create a DACA law. So that's what they're going to do. And Nancy Pelosi is reaching across. Here's the stupidity and the ignorance of the Democratic followers, okay? They want to talk about you guys. Here's their stupidity. Nancy Pelosi is reaching across the aisle to the Republicans to create a bill to protect DACA, to protect those dreamers. And they attack her. They attack her for working with Donald Trump. This is the ignorance, okay, of the Democratic Party. They're so stupid, they're so brainwashed that they have no clue as to what's really going on. They're just sitting there being told, go and here, you want it? Okay. What did I say? That you guys are, you like the things you like because you're told to like them. Here's the Democratic base running after even Democrats and protesting because that's what they're told to do, and they do it. You want to talk about lemmics? You want to talk about uneducated lemmics? You want to, and a lot of those that are protesting don't even have a college education. And they're protesting because they're told to protest and they have no clue what they're protesting about. This is the farce of the Democratic Party. And he ought to be ashamed of himself, Obama. And Michelle ought to be ashamed of herself as well, to come out and sit there and go, oh, well, we support the president. But then you attack him at the same time. You can't support an attack, people. You got to understand. And President Obama knows that this is the better way to go. He knows it's the better way to go. And Trump is doing the right thing. But yet he attacks Trump for not extending the DACA. They've got 6 months. Like I said, look at the Democratic Party. Let's see if the Democrats really do get on board and pass DACA. These are the test people. They're they're pointing fingers at the Republicans. But take a look at what's going on in there. Who's voting for what? And if the Democrats really want DACA, they're going to join with the Republicans, and they're going to create a bill to pass to ensure that the Dreamers are taken care of. But let's watch and see. Let's watch and see if they're willing to lower the tax rate on us. Let's watch and see. We already know that the Democrats refuse to change the Obamacare. It's going up 125 to 175%, people. Can you afford that? And it's taxes. New taxes are being added into the system. Thank you, Obama, because he's the one that created this. It's a nightmare. And I'm trying to get through to the House, to the president, and sit there and give him my outline. But even the Republicans don't want to let go of government-controlled health care. They want to keep control of health care. That's all part of socialism, people. So for those who are voting with Obamacare, they're socialists. That's right, McCain. He's a socialist. He believes in the Democratic Party and socialism, and he wants to turn this country into a socialist country. And he's a farce. He's a poor excuse. It's time for the Arizonans to kick him out, because they would have passed repeal and replace if he would have come back and sat there and go, okay, fine, I agree. But he didn't. And then the excuse later on, well, he never apologized. He's in his 80s. Get over yourself. It's time for McCain to go. It's time for Barack Obama and Michelle Obama to shut their mouths and stop talking politics, because neither one are good at it. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, that's my one man's opinion. I thank you for listening. Please make your comments. Let it be known. I support women in this country 100%. But I support intelligent women making intelligent decisions, and not the decisions that the National Organization of Women and the Social Democrats in this country expect you to make. You make a good, well-informed decision. You did. 41% of you, almost 50% of the women in this country voted and knew what they were voting for. God bless, thank you, and take care.